Welcome back to Dad Planet, everybody. It is Brendan here. So nice to see you all. If you're new, good to see you for the first time. If you're old, always a pleasure having you back. This is a What Sold on eBay video. It's the last one of the month, so it's 9 days total, not a true 7-day week. But the numbers, in my opinion, are low. I know it says you see a lot of green there, 36% up, 51.5% up on the net sales. But 32, 37 is low. And no, I didn't end up meeting my 90-day goal. So here's what you see here, 26% selling costs at 839. Here's how I did for the month of September. 12.9. My goal was 15 across 3 months, or 45 total. I did not meet that goal, unfortunately. And the reason I didn't meet the goal is simply I don't have enough listings. What I've noticed now is that pandemic fevered like purchasing, that's over with. Okay, so now we're getting into the fourth quarter. Well, we will see an increase, but if you're really like selling just used items that people buy for themselves, fourth quarter is usually gift giving season. So while there will be a ramp up in sales for me, I never really have like a blockbuster fourth quarter because of the product mix that I sell. I don't sell a ton of new stuff. Usually just used stuff for the end user. At any rate, my listing count is up. I'm at over 1,000, so that's great. But again, being over 1,000 is only due to a lot less sales volume for me. So just to give you an idea, I didn't meet the goal. I'm not going to beat myself up over it, and I am certainly not going to go out and spend for the sake of spending. So we're at where we're at, and we'll see what the next 3 months kind of hails. But I'm going to continue to try to do the 15 a month. I mean, like, it'd be great to do 20, but just finding I'm not dedicating enough time to get to where I need to be on the eBay platform. But anyway, we're going to get into the 10 sales that I thought were the most interesting. There's going to be some stuff you haven't seen in here before. So make sure you tune in all the way through and listen. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I got a lot of content coming out. So, yep, here we go. This is a signature capture. If you guys go to Goodwills, you've seen them. So that's probably where this came from because I found it at the bins. So Topaz Siglite TLBK 460. You can type that in. This is definitely a Bolo. It worked phenomenally, in very good condition. Because I got this at the bins, it's $1.69 a pound at the bins. So this thing was, I don't even think it was a pound. So let's call it a $1.50. And I got 70 bucks for it. 70 and then 8 shipping. By the way, I don't think eBay is showing the taxes that buyers are paying right now. So when I say like the buyer is this price all in, this does not include taxes because it doesn't look like they're showing us that information anymore. At any rate, $77.99 all in, $1.50 for me. Great sale. A lot of people passing it up in the bins, and I took advantage of that. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one. Now, I'm in Columbus, Ohio, so I see Ohio State gear all the time, right? And I glaze over most of it. The reason I bought this was because it was vintage from 1997. And for whatever reason, for me, things like from the mid 90s that are sports related, locally, Ohio State, Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Indians, Cincinnati, that mid 90s stuff is really selling well. So that's why I picked this up. Not necessarily because it's a Bolo, but the Bolo for you is, yeah, if you see something like this, mid 90s Ohio State, this is Rose Bowl related, purchase it. Now you'll see sometimes like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt that if one of the football teams was in a bowl with the other football team and you've got like Ohio State versus USC, those don't sell as well. You want the single school on the garment, not both schools in most cases, in my experience. So picked this one up. It cost me $5. Maybe I undersold it at 30, but because I was kind of testing this out and sure enough it worked, I got full price for it. So whatever, I have to be happy with 30 bucks, $8.25 shipping, $38.24. They are all in. So a good sale. And you have to also remember a 1997 extra large is a lot smaller than a 2020 extra large, okay? You can disclose that in your descriptions if you feel like you need to. I didn't in this case. I feel like people should be able to make that assumption, but you might get some returns because it's an XL that's really a size large, maybe even a medium for certain makes. Keep that in mind. We'll move on to the next one. All right, so where are we at here? Skechers Shape Ups. The model on this one is 66501. It is definitely a Bolo, and I got full price for this. So $63.99. Buyer paid $10.90 in shipping, and then so they're $74.89 all in. Shoes at this location cost me $4.29. They were in immaculate condition. Now, the rubber on these soles, especially like in the midsole area, not the bottom sole area, are very, very soft. And the problem with this shoe is it starts to kind of come apart in those midsole areas. Now, in this particular pair, they were in fine condition. They were there was no separation in there, even though it's really, really soft. It almost feels like a marshmallow when you feel it on this style of Skechers. So the soles, the bottom soles were great. The interior insoles were in good condition, and these sold relatively quickly. Definitely a Bolo. These are the leather style. Obviously, you see that right there. 66501. It was a very good sale. Make sure you keep your eye out. This is one of those unassuming shoes that a lot of other resellers will also miss, but now you're not gonna because you just learned it here. So keep your eye out for those. Good Bolo, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so Columbus, Ohio is where I'm at, right? It is also where the Kahiki Supper Club restaurant used to be. The paraphernalia, like the items that were sold in both the gift shops and on the restaurant side, are huge, huge Bolos. There's other groups that like focus on tiki wear, so a lot of you may know this that are in those other groups. But this was a definite Bolo here. Interesting thing about this was it had a crack, and I took a picture of that crack right there. You can see it. It was cracked all the way through to the other side as well. Still usable, okay? But I disclosed the crack. Now remember, I say this a lot. Never be afraid to disclose any and all defects because your ideal buyer won't care, right? They won't care. So I bought this because I knew that the Kahiki Supper Club was a Bolo in and of itself, right? So when I saw it, I was like, I've got something here. One of these that was not cracked, I think sold on a best offer for around maybe around 100, in between 100 and 150 bucks. So I knew I had something and I was willing to take a chance on it, even though it had a crack on it, because it was only 99 cents anyway. So I listed it at 50 bucks and it sold for 50 bucks. $3.99 shipping. So $53.98 all in, 99 cents, had a crack, doesn't matter to your ideal buyer. I want to like pound that into your brains because it always works for me. So never be afraid to disclose those things. You'll see listed I have a like a little syrup pourer that it matches this cup. I have that one listed for $150. I expect it will sell for full price. It's going to sell in between 130 and 150 depending on my mood that day. I don't even know if I have best offer on it or not. But anyway, keep your eye out for this brand because it is a super Bolo for sure. We'll move on to the next one. Next one, you learn something new every day, so they say, and I had never even heard as much shoe volume as I do. I've sold thousands of pairs on Amazon back in the day, tons on eBay. All the shoes that I've sold, I didn't know La Sportiva was a Bolo. Well, it is. So I may have even underpriced these at 40 bucks, but they sold. This is the Wildcat 2.0 GTX style. Again, excellent condition. The soles were fabulous. Tag and the insoles clean. 40 bucks, size 9.5. Yeah, La Sportiva. If you see it, grab it. Do the research because it's a Bolo and it's another shoe I can add to my repertoire of reselling. Like I'm happy about that. Like sometimes you go in and you're like, yeah, there's nothing more to learn. I know it all. Don't feel that way. You'd be pleasantly surprised. So yeah, we killed it on that one. So we'll go on to the next one. All right, so I took a stab on this little guy at an estate sale. I paid 50 cents for him. I was super intimidated at this estate sale, not because I was like uncomfortable with how I would perform, but it was a house. It was packed. It's COVID still. I mean, it was just weird to like maneuver around this house. I felt like we were tripping over each other, and that's kind of not safe. So, I mean, was it like a fire hazard? No, but this is just me being overly careful. Anyway, I put this guy in my bag, paid 50 cents for him, went home and realized that it was in fact a Bolo. You can see right here on this tag, Plakie, Plakie was the brand, Youngstown, Ohio. That's right up the road from me here in the middle of the state of Ohio. And I got full price for this guy, 50 bucks. Where are we at here? $4.99 shipping, and so $54.98. They are all in. A pajama case, right? It has a little pillow on the inside there. So a couple of really easy, simple pictures. And yeah, it's a Bolo. I think there was a new one recently that sold. I'll put the comps up on the screen for maybe over 100. It was in between 80 and 100 if I remember correctly. She's super cute and in good vintage condition. Absolutely. I mean, what can I tell you? I think this is probably from the 50s or 60s. I picked up another plush that I haven't listed yet from that estate sale. But yeah, what a score, what a cute little piece. And I'm happy with $50 on 50 cents for sure. We'll move on to the next one. Anytime you see Nike weightlifting shoes, pick them up, get your phone out, and do your homework, because you will be surprised in most cases on how much money you can get for them. So Romolios, I don't know how you pronounce that. They're weightlifting shoes. They're cross trainers. The style number on this is 476927. Let me show you a picture of the rest of the tag. So on Nike, there's a 6-digit style number followed by a 3-digit colorway number. Okay, so 476927 is style, 600 is color scheme, so red and gold. And yeah, this is a definite Bolo. This particular style and color specifically will get you a higher amount than just the style 476927. So I got 140 bucks for these bad boys. Again, disclosed that there was an issue there with the shoelace. Does not matter. 140 is what I got, $9.90 in shipping, so $149.90. They are all in. This shoe cost me in between $6 and $7 at a garage sale that I went to just this past weekend. And yeah, this had a bunch of watchers before it sold. So keep your eye out for Nike weightlifting shoes. Big Bolo, big money, and I killed it on that one. All right, the next one, where are we at? So it's October 1st. I'm recording this video, and people are still buying softball bats and baseball bats. So the lesson always is you buy good inventory, it will eventually sell, okay? I don't mind waiting because of how I view eBay and I view my inventory on eBay. I'm not opposed to waiting. So even if this, I held on to this till March or April, I would have still been okay with it. But it sold for full price. 50 bucks, $10.90 in shipping, $60.98 all in. I paid $2.99. This was hidden in a Goodwill, like packed behind a bunch of stuff. And I'm pretty good at like looking at the creases and the crevices of the stores because you find gold there often, at least I do. When you have so many other reseller eyes on all of the products, you kind of have to get creative sometimes. This is the Ultimate Weapon single wall softball bat. When I tell you it was in like almost mint condition, I'm not kidding. It was almost in mint condition. You see the pictures here. Normally you see scuffs and ball marks and all that stuff, and this was very, very lightly used. So you can see a little bit there. I mean, maybe it was used for like, batting practice once or twice, and that was it. So great condition bat. They are still selling. If you find a bat in October and it's got, a decent amount of like resale comps, pick it up, because it will sell. You never know. We got the holidays coming up too, but like I said, used items different than new. I won't have that discussion with you again, but don't be afraid to get good inventory. This is good inventory. I'm happy with this sale. All right, we'll move on to the next one. So 3-4 months ago, I bought a lot of Hot Wheels. I've sold through a ton of them. And this one finally sold. So the 1967 Camaro, this was the 1982 version of the 1967 Camaro with flames. It was in awesome condition. Hood opens up just like that. A really nice paint job too. My pictures aren't the greatest. There's some shadows that kind of distract from the rest of the car, but as good as it could get. There was an error on one of these where that fat back tire was put on the front and vice versa. If you find the error of the 67 Camaro, you'll get like around $90 to $150 for that one, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I got 60 bucks for this bad boy, and it went global shipping. So 60 and then $3.99. So they're $63.99 all in before tax and before customs. And again, I might be a quarter to 50 cents into this thing at this point. They all sit on the wall desk that I record these videos on. So it's like sad to see one go when it goes, because I have like a lot of those really like expensive Hot Wheels that I sourced set up here. So, but whatever, I'm I'm happy to see it go. I'm happy with 60 bucks. And ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the last one. It is a Restoration Hardware fan, Alair number 8, an oscillating fan. Might have been about this big. Very small, very valuable, and very hard to find. So I was the only listing at the time. So I slapped 150 bucks on it, and wouldn't you know, that's what I got. And it was shipped off to California. So $149.99. Buyer paid $29.20 in shipping, and they're $179.19 all in. This bad boy cost me $5 at a Goodwill, and it came off of the cart, so I got to it immediately. And there was another guy who like was starting to go through my cart. You ever have that where you're in a store and like people start shopping out of your cart? What is wrong with people? Anyway, yeah, so that was a funny story, but maybe he knew what it was. I certainly didn't, but it looked cool and it looked all chromed out, so I grabbed it, and I'm glad I did because I got paid on that bad boy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all I got for you. If you're not subscribed, please, I encourage you to subscribe. If you liked what you saw, give me a like, hit the bell notification icon, leave me a comment. Let's do some chatting about how things are going. We are in October. The leaves are falling. Goodness gracious, what can I tell you? I appreciate you watching always. And yeah, this is Brendan, Dad Planet. Catch you in the next video.